It dinged one of the ships, and that was later reported as a collision between two destroyers. And he says that's not what happened, because he went up and he said this damn thing came up out of the water and flew up.
According to reports, all of these sightings share a similar eerie trait. The witnesses uniformly feel that these USO objects, whatever they might be, are actually observing the naval exercises at close range.
After Operation Mainbrace, there were so many sailors who saw the objects, and airmen from the RAF that saw the objects. This wasn't just one or two people. These were crew members on the USS FDR. So this is one of those very famous multiple sightings where everybody saw these objects.
One journalist aboard the USS FDR during the operations had perhaps the very best view of this reported swarm of USO activity through his camera lens. September 20th, 1952, 11 a.m. Several crewmen witnessed yet another fast maneuvering spherical USO rise from the water to the sky just behind the fleet. Journalist Wallace Litwin, on board the FDR documenting the operation, points his 35mm Canon camera at the horizon and quickly snaps two images of a fast-moving disk that seemingly defies all laws of gravity. The images were believed to have been studied by the Navy, but no official report was ever filed.
Wallace Litwin took photos of the flying disc going over the USS FDR in Operation Mainbrace. I got copies of his photographs there. It shows the object going over the ship, and you see the ship's superstructure and part of a wing of an airplane. Just like a bright light going over a ship with the photos showed, but they said it was like a disc light, some of the witnesses.
USO sightings aboard the USS FDR during Operation Mainbrace were not exclusive to enlisted men and non-coms. Some believe that General Dwight Eisenhower may have even witnessed similar objects as a guest aboard the FDR.
I have heard reports that Eisenhower was on the FDR when one of these sightings occurred. The people who are the serious witnesses to operations and events have been afraid to come forward, both because they've been threatened, they're also afraid of being ridiculed.
According to experts, many documents involving Mainbrace remain classified. However, others have been released. Is there a motive for officials to keep 50-year-old events secret?
The military, in fact, the militaries of all first world nations treat these things as threats. They say the fact that they can penetrate airspace, they can go into highly secure areas, they can outfly our fastest jets. Does that mean they're hostile?
Although many FDR veterans and researchers suspect that the ship's advanced capabilities may have made her a target for otherworldly attention, some wonder, could all of this reported activity actually serve as proof?
I have spoken with people over the years since my Roosevelt experience and that one, and have seen the evidence firsthand. To those who have not had those experiences, you cannot know what you've yet to experience, and hopefully you'll believe that they are out there.
Coming up, the architect of modern USO research, Ivan T. Sanderson's controversial discoveries and extraordinary USO cases. And later from Australia, two disc-like objects are witnessed leaving an impression on the surface of the water.
Now, Ivan Sanderson, explorer, taking you into adventure.
USOs in general are unidentified submerged objects. USOs have been in history for a long, long time, and an associate and friend of mine, Ivan T. Sanderson, did a study of them long ago. They are there all the time. They're in the data. They're a part of the phenomena.
Even more frightening than extraterrestrials is what Ivan T. Sanderson said when he wrote the book Invisible Residents. They're not extraterrestrials. They're already here.
To this day, the pioneering USO research by zoologist and former British spy Ivan T. Sanderson continues to astound and frighten experts and buffs alike. His controversial 1970 book, Invisible Residents, forever opened the world's eyes and ears to the murky realm of unidentified submerged objects. Sanderson proposes two primary theories about USOs and invisible residents. The first is that USOs are in fact here and have either evolved along with the Earth or have come from space and made a home in our oceans long ago.
When you talk about underwater UFOs, you have to remember that 3/4 of the Earth's surface is covered with water. And UFOs are seen pretty much all over the Earth, in every country. So it's not at all surprising that they're using the oceans, because we haven't even fully explored the oceans ourselves.
Sanderson's USO theories lead to a stark prospect. If over 50% of UFO reports occur on or above water, as he reports, are over 50% of these UFOs, in fact, USOs?
You know, UFOs are not just being seen over land. Ivan T. Sanderson said that 50% of all UFOs were actually being seen over bodies of water.
Do USOs mean that living underneath the surface of planet Earth is a whole civilization of creatures, entities, aliens, for whom Earth is home, just as it's home for us on the surface? And these were residents who've been here for millions of years, probably before life evolved on the surface of the planet.
As evidence of his second theory, Sanderson says there are several crucial points across the Earth, together forming an unseen invisible map, triangles that he refers to as vile vortices. By locating the areas where ships and aircraft reportedly disappear, Sanderson realized that the USO sightings correlate almost perfectly with the triangles on Earth, where it is believed that strange magnetic anomalies occur.
He wondered if some of these unusual spaces, whether they were called triangles or, vortices or whatever, might have unusual animals, might have USOs coming in and out of them.
Sanderson's vortices theory has a terrible dark side as well. The major areas of anomaly are the areas located in some of the most treacherous water regions on Earth.
Ivan Sanderson did a latitudinal study and found out that there is a line around the planet in which geographic north and magnetic north merge. And these are areas that have a great deal of lost vessels, lost planes, and manifestations of objects.
After 17 years of research, Sanderson came to one startling conclusion. There is a clear link between the high number of USO reports and the areas of unusual gravitational or vortic poles on Earth. The specific areas where the two intersect are the mysterious triangle regions off Bermuda, Japan, and Australia.
I think it's about time that somebody does go into this thing, instead of just sitting sadly and saying it doesn't exist, or saying it's a forgery, go ahead and prove it.
According to Sanderson, this link is no coincidence. He believes that the unusual magnetic hotspots on Earth and high number of USO sightings are connected, and for a reason. In fact, some USO researchers have interpreted the vortices as likely locations of USO bases.
Where he began to think about underwater bases. Are they aliens from outer space? Are they really interacting with us?
And I believe that over time, at various times, there have been concentrated areas of extraterrestrial facilities that are based underwater, very deep and undetectable, where they've been observing what we're doing.
USOs might be